back to back. And keep your fingers off of the trigger. Clear the way there.
I can feel you sweating right through my shirt.
For decades, Chuck Connors was celebrated as the tough, no-nonsense star of the iconic TV show The Rifleman. But behind his rugged exterior and stoic performances, a world of secrets lay hidden. As one of Hollywood's most enduring and mysterious figures, Connors lived a life full of surprising twists, many of which remained out of the public eye until long after his passing. In this video, we'll uncover the shocking revelations about Chuck Connors' personal life that will forever change the way you see this legendary actor. Get ready for a journey through untold stories, hidden truths, and a closer look at the man behind the iconic rifle. Brooklyn to West Point. Chuck Connors, known best for his iconic role as the Rifleman, wasn't always the strong, rugged cowboy many came to love on television. In fact, his life before fame was packed with unexpected twists, athletic dreams, and a search for his true identity. Born on April 10, 1921, in the borough of Brooklyn, New York, Connors was the older of two children to Marcella and Alban Francis Allen Connors, both immigrants of Irish descent from Newfoundland and Labrador. His father, a longshoreman, worked in Brooklyn after becoming a U.S. citizen in 1914, while his mother, Marcella, attained citizenship 3 years later. The backdrop of Connors' childhood was a working-class neighborhood, where his devotion to the Brooklyn Dodgers reflected his early love for sports and dreams of a career in athletics. Though the Dodgers were not known for winning in the 1930s, Connors remained a loyal fan, holding out hope that one day he would join the team himself. This love for baseball fueled his athletic pursuits, and Connors became a standout player during his youth. He earned a scholarship to the prestigious Adelphi Academy in Brooklyn, where he graduated in 1939. It was at this school that he caught the attention of college recruiters, ultimately receiving offers for athletic scholarships from more than 24 universities. Connors chose to attend Seton Hall University, where he excelled in baseball and basketball. During his time at Seton Hall, Connors experienced a change that would affect his public image for the rest of his life. Connors, who had never liked his first name, Kevin, tried on various nicknames. After experimenting with names like Lefty and Stretch, he eventually settled on Chuck. This nickname was born during his time on Seton Hall's baseball team when he would shout, "Chuck it to me, baby," from first base, urging the pitcher to throw him the ball. His teammates quickly adopted the moniker, and it stuck for good. Connors' dreams of a professional baseball career began to take shape, but life had other plans. After just 2 years at Seton Hall, he decided to leave school behind and pursue professional baseball. He played for minor league teams in 1940 and 1942. However, as the United States entered World War II, Connors' career took an unexpected turn. Like many young men of his time, he enlisted in the U.S. Army. Connors served as a tank warfare instructor during the war, first at Fort Campbell, Kentucky, and later at West Point in New York. Beyond his athletic abilities, Connors had a deeply spiritual side. He grew up as an altar boy and a parishioner at Our Lady of Perpetual Help Church in Bay Ridge, Brooklyn. His upbringing was shaped by his hardworking parents, Alan, a longshoreman, and Marcella, a housewife. While his parents were a significant influence on his life, it was a coach named John Flynn who left the most lasting impact on him. At just 13 years old, Connors played first base on a team called the Celtics, where Flynn, a small but mighty coach, helped shape his character and dedication to sports. Though Connors' early life was filled with athletic aspirations, it was clear that Hollywood had a different destiny in store for him. His athletic background, combined with his tall, imposing presence, made him a natural fit for the screen. While his road to stardom had its share of bumps and turns, it's fascinating to realize that the man who became the Rifleman started out as just another kid from Brooklyn with big dreams, a love of sports, and a name that didn't quite fit. On the field and court, Chuck Connors wasn't just the cowboy who captured hearts in The Rifleman. He was also a rare, versatile athlete with a professional baseball and basketball career. Before he became a Hollywood household name, Connors was breaking records, making history, and even shattering backboards. But his journey from the ball field to the big screen was anything but ordinary. After leaving Seton Hall University in 1940, Connors began his professional baseball career with the Brooklyn Dodgers minor league team, the Newport Dodgers. Though his stint was brief, just 4 games, his talent and determination shone through. After being released, he sat out the 1941 season before signing with the New York Yankees farm team, the Norfolk Tars, in 1942. Playing 72 games that season, Connors showcased his skills as a first baseman. But his baseball career was put on hold when he enlisted in the U.S. Army at the end of the season, on October 10, 1942. Following his military service as a tank warfare instructor during World War II, Connors returned to baseball with renewed vigor. He played for the Newport News Dodgers in 1946 and the Mobile Bears in 1947 before joining the Montreal Royals in 1948. Over the next 3 years, Connors honed his game with the Royals, even attending spring training with the Brooklyn Dodgers in 1948. Though he didn't make the squad, he remained a key player in the Dodgers minor league system, eventually making his MLB debut in 1949, appearing in 1 game. Later, in 1951, he joined the Chicago Cubs, playing 66 games as a first baseman and occasional pinch hitter. While baseball was his first love, Connors' athletic abilities extended to basketball. After his military discharge in 1946, the 6 feet 5 inches, Connors joined the Rochester Royals, now the Sacramento Kings, in the National Basketball League, NBL, for their championship season. The following year, he became part of history as a member of the newly formed Boston Celtics in the Basketball Association of America, BAA. During the Celtics' inaugural season, Connors made headlines. He became the first professional basketball player to shatter a backboard. Remarkably, it wasn't during a high-flying dunk, but rather a pre-game shot that caused the backboard to collapse. This act left a lasting mark on basketball lore. Connors played 53 games for the Celtics before stepping away from professional basketball during the 1947-48 season. Connors is one of only 13 athletes in history to have played both Major League Baseball and professional basketball. This rare accomplishment puts him in the company of other legends like Danny Ainge and Dave DeBusschere. This underscores his remarkable athleticism and adaptability. Even after his playing days, Connors continued to make his mark in the sports world. In 1966, he played an unexpected role as a mediator during a contract dispute between Los Angeles Dodgers pitchers Don Drysdale and Sandy Koufax and team management. Connors' involvement helped end the holdout. It demonstrated his influence extended beyond the field and the court. Connors ultimately traded his sports uniforms for cowboy hats and six-shooters. But his time as a professional athlete set the stage for his Hollywood success. The discipline, charisma, and larger-than-life presence he displayed on the field and court seamlessly translated to the screen, making him a beloved star. From shattering records to breaking barriers, Chuck Connors was a true Renaissance man whose athletic legacy still inspires admiration today. Stepping in front of the camera. Sometimes a curveball leads to the biggest home run of your life. For Chuck Connors, a realization that his future didn't lie in professional sports set him on an unexpected path. It turned him into a Hollywood icon. With his towering frame, rugged good looks, and charisma honed on the baseball field, Connors left the dugout behind and carved out a stellar career in acting. He earned fans in both film and television. Connors' big break came thanks to baseball and a well-timed game near Hollywood. Spotted by an MGM casting director, he was signed to appear in the 1952 Tracy Hepburn classic, Pat and Mike, playing the role of a police captain. The part was small, but pivotal. It marked the beginning of Connors' Hollywood adventure. His athletic build and commanding presence quickly landed him larger roles. These included a standout performance in 1953's South Sea Woman, where he played a rebellious Marine opposite Burt Lancaster. That same year, he teamed up with John Wayne in Trouble Along the Way, portraying a football coach in a story of sportsmanship and redemption. Connors proved his versatility early on with a comedic appearance in a 1955 episode of Adventures of Superman. In the episode, Flight to the North, he played Sylvester J. Superman, a tall, rustic yokel whose name created plenty of humorous confusion. The role showcased his ability to bring charm and humor to the screen, proving he could excel beyond action-packed dramas. His television roles often drew on his real-life sports background. In 1956, he portrayed Lou Brissy, a former baseball player wounded in World War II, in an episode of the religious anthology series Crossroads. The storyline followed Brissy's emotional and spiritual journey as he recovered from his injuries and reclaimed his love for the game. Connor's performance captured both the physical and emotional challenges of an athlete trying to overcome adversity. It also earned praise for his heartfelt portrayal. Connor's television career continued to flourish with roles in a wide array of genres. In 1957, he appeared in the Walt Disney classic Old Yeller as Bern Sanderson, a cowboy who forms a connection with the titular dog. That same year, he co-starred in The Hired Gun, further solidifying his reputation as a strong, dependable character actor. Connors became a favorite for Western roles. He frequently guest-starred on shows like Tales of Wells Fargo, Wagon Train, and Gunsmoke. His imposing stature and natural confidence made him a perfect fit for frontier tales, and he became a beloved presence in the genre. As a feature film actor, Connors worked alongside Hollywood legends in several memorable productions. He shared the screen with Gregory Peck and Charlton Heston and played opposite Doris Day and James Garner. In a comedic turn, Connors appeared in Airplane 2, the sequel, proving once again that his talents knew no bounds. Over the years, Connors guest-starred on numerous television shows. He became a familiar face to audiences across generations. From family-friendly fare like The Loretta Young Show to intense dramas like Night Gallery, Connors demonstrated a remarkable range as an actor. He even made his mark in sitcoms, appearing on Here's Lucy alongside Lucille Ball. Whether portraying a cowboy, a coach, or a quirky neighbor, Connors brought authenticity and charm to every role, but the role he is best known for is the one he played on The Rifleman. His big role, The Rifleman, Chuck Connors auditioned for and won the role of Lucas McCain on The Rifleman, securing the part over numerous other contenders. Lucas McCain wasn't your typical Western hero. He was a widowed rancher raising his son Mark on the rugged frontier. A revolutionary portrayal in TV history. Before Connors even auditioned, the producers of The Rifleman were combing through Hollywood's talent pool. They were searching for the perfect 30-something man to bring the character to life. In a surprising twist, Connors initially turned down the offer. At the time, he was making more as a freelance actor than what the show's producers offered for the first season's 39 episodes. But fate intervened when the producers took their children to watch Old Yeller. This is a Disney classic where Connors played a strong and compassionate father figure. Impressed by his performance, they revisited their decision and sweetened the deal. They offered him not only a higher salary, but also a 5% ownership of the show, a rare and lucrative arrangement for the era. Premiering in 1958, The Rifleman quickly became a ratings powerhouse. Its debut season landed at an impressive number 4 in the Nielsen ratings, following other popular westerns like Gunsmoke, Wagon Train, and Have Gun Will Travel. Audiences were drawn to its unique premise, blending thrilling action with tender family moments. Lucas McCain wasn't just a sharpshooter, he was a father navigating the challenges of raising his son alone in a harsh world. Young actor Johnny Crawford, a former musketeer and Western enthusiast, brought warmth and authenticity to the role of Mark McCain, Lucas's son. Crawford beat out 40 other young hopefuls for the part, and his on-screen chemistry with Connors became a cornerstone of the show's success. Crawford remained a central figure throughout the series' 5-season run, which concluded in 1963 after 168 episodes. No discussion of The Rifleman would be complete without mentioning Lucas McCain's iconic weapon, the custom Winchester model. 1892 rifle was as much a character in the show as any of its human stars. 3 rifles were used during filming, 2 identical .44, 40 Winchester models, and a Spanish-made El Tigre rifle, kept in a saddle holster. Over the seasons, the rifle's lever was modified, transitioning from a rounded shape to a more D-shaped design for better handling in action scenes. Chuck Connors had a personal connection to the iconic firearm. 2 custom rifles, crafted by Maurice Moe Hunt, were gifted to him and never used on the show. One of these rifles was later presented to golf legend Arnold Palmer, a close friend of Connors. It remains on display at the World Golf Hall of Fame, a testament to the lasting impact of both Connors and The Rifleman. Though The Rifleman enjoyed widespread popularity, its dominance faltered in its final season. By 1962, it was competing against The Lucy Show, the much-anticipated return of television legend Lucille Ball. The ratings battle proved tough, and the series was canceled in 1963. Still, its legacy endured, and The Rifleman remains a beloved classic. It is celebrated for its trailblazing approach to storytelling and family dynamics. From Connor's heartfelt portrayal of a widowed father to the expertly crafted action sequences, The Rifleman left an indelible mark on television history. Its groundbreaking narrative paved the way for more complex and emotionally resonant storytelling. Even decades later, the show continues to capture the imagination of audiences. It proved that a sharp-shooting rancher with a heart of gold can still strike a chord in the modern era. After The Rifleman ended in 1963, Chuck Connors found himself facing a familiar challenge for actors who excel in an iconic role: typecasting. Audiences adored him as the single-father rancher Lucas McCain, but this success also limited opportunities to showcase his range as an actor. Connors, however, refused to be boxed in and took on a variety of roles to prove his versatility. In 1963, he appeared in the family-friendly film Flipper and shared the screen with James Garner and Doris Day in the comedy Move Over, Darling. His role in this remake of My Favorite Wife offered a chance to flex his comedic muscles. He stepped into a part previously played by Randolph Scott in the 1940 version. Connors didn't shy away from television after The Rifleman. He embraced the medium, headlining several series that pushed boundaries for their time. One standout was ABC's Arrest and Trial, 1963 to 1964, where Connors portrayed a lawyer. This legal drama was a precursor to Law and Order. It blended police procedural storytelling with courtroom drama. The show also featured rising stars Ben Gazzara and Don Galloway. He found greater success with NBC's Branded, 1965 to 1966. This was a post-Civil War Western where he played Jason McCord, an Army captain dishonorably discharged and forced to clear his name. Connors' portrayal of McCord added emotional depth to the character, proving his ability to bring nuance to more complex roles. From 1967 to 1968, Connors joined forces with Tom Nardini and Ronald Howard in ABC's Cowboy in Africa. The series followed the adventures of an American rancher helping to modernize cattle ranching in Kenya. Although short-lived, the show demonstrated Connors' willingness to tackle fresh narratives. He continued to surprise audiences by taking on darker and more unconventional roles. In 1971, he guest-starred in Night Gallery in an eerie episode titled The Ring with the Red Velvet Ropes. This foray into the horror genre was a stark departure from his Western roots. Connors also earned critical acclaim for breaking type in the groundbreaking miniseries Roots, 1977. In this critically acclaimed miniseries where he played a slave owner, this powerful performance earned him an Emmy nomination. It also showcased his ability to portray deeply challenging roles. Connors was also a charismatic host. He led Thrill Seekers in the early 1970s and later hosted Chuck Connors' Great Western Theater. This show featured reruns of classic westerns like Branded and The Guns of Will Sonnet. His commitment to the western genre made him a beloved figure among fans of the frontier spirit. In 1983, Connors joined an ensemble cast in The Yellow Rose, a modern western drama about a Texas ranching family. Sharing the screen with Sam Elliott and Sybil Shepherd, Connors proved he could thrive in ensemble casts as well as leading roles. The 1980s brought more guest appearances, including a recurring role as King Powers in ABC's Spencer for Hire. He also embraced supernatural storytelling in the Fox series Werewolf, 1987. In it, he played Janos Skortseni, a menacing drifter with a dark secret. Connors revisited his Western roots in Once Upon a Texas Train, 1988, playing Nash Crawford, an aging Texas Ranger. He brought gravitas and humor to this role, blending nostalgia with a fresh take on the genre. In 1991, his contributions to Westerns and television were cemented. He was inducted into the Western Performers Hall of Fame at the National Cowboy and Western Heritage Museum. From his groundbreaking role on The Rifleman to his Emmy-nominated performance in Roots, Chuck Connors demonstrated a fearless approach to his craft. He didn't let typecasting define his career, but instead used it as a springboard to explore diverse roles across genres. Connor's ability to adapt and reinvent himself made him a lasting icon in Hollywood. He proved that even a cowboy with a rifle can break the mold and redefine what it means to be a star. Marriages and women. Chuck Connors may have been celebrated as the ideal family man on The Rifleman, but his personal life told a very different story. Beneath the wholesome TV image was a complex web of tumultuous relationships, infidelities, and public facades that often contradicted the values he portrayed on screen. Connors met his first wife, Elizabeth Jane Riddell, during his time as a minor league baseball player in Canada. Their love story seemed like a perfect match, leading to their marriage on October 1, 1948. Over the next 13 years, the couple had 4 sons and appeared to embody domestic harmony. However, the reality was far from ideal. Connors' fame, physical presence, and charm made him irresistible to many. So, his reported extramarital affairs became an open secret in Hollywood. While Elizabeth knew about his infidelities, she felt powerless to stop his behavior. Their marriage ended in 1962. This marked the conclusion of a relationship burdened by betrayal and disillusionment. Just a year after his divorce, Connors married Indian actress Kamala Devi. The couple had initially connected while working together on the film Geronimo. They later appeared alongside each other in TV series like Branded and Cowboy in Africa. Despite their on-screen chemistry, their real-life marriage was fraught with challenges. Rumors of domestic abuse and Connors' continued infidelity plagued their relationship. Colleagues described Connors as a man of dualities, generous and charming one moment, yet cruel and temperamental the next. This second marriage lasted less than a decade, ending in divorce in 1973. In 1977, Connors entered his third marriage with Faith Quabius, a former Playboy bunny he had met while working on the film Soylent Green. The marriage raised eyebrows due to their significant age difference, as Quabius was less than half of Connors' age. True to form, the union was short-lived, dissolving just 3 years later in 1979. Reports suggest that Connors' inability to remain faithful and his penchant for pursuing younger women contributed to the relationship's swift collapse. Throughout his personal life, Connors exhibited a stark contrast to the virtuous characters he portrayed on screen. Friends and colleagues noted his cavalier attitude toward marriage vows. He seemed to disregard those vows with little concern for consequences. Despite his serial infidelity, Connors remained a charismatic figure who could draw people in effortlessly. Yet this magnetism often left emotional wreckage in its wake, particularly among those closest to him. Connors' professional achievements, including his iconic role in The Rifleman, cemented his status as a beloved TV star. But his personal life painted a more complicated picture. Connors' personal life reportedly caused strain on his children, with some expressing feelings of neglect due to his focus on his career. Still, Connors avoided public acknowledgement of his infidelities. He chose instead to maintain a carefully curated public image. After his death, the full extent of Connors' personal struggles and infidelities came to light. It offered a more nuanced understanding of the man behind the legend. Despite his flaws, Connors left an indelible mark on Hollywood, embodying the complexity of a man who was both revered and deeply flawed. His story serves as a reminder that even the most iconic figures can have hidden depths. It reveals a human side that resonates with audiences beyond the screen. Politics and charity. Many Hollywood stars lean liberal, but Connors stood out as an outspoken supporter of conservative politics. He actively campaigned for Republican candidates, including Barry Goldwater in 1964, and his close friend Ronald Reagan. Connors was known for his support of President Richard Nixon, including attending some fundraisers and expressing his views on the Vietnam War in the 1960s. To Connors, portraying a character like Lucas McCain, a morally upright figure advocating for justice and family values, perfectly aligned with his personal beliefs. Yet his off-screen life often contradicted the wholesome image he embodied. It showcased a man of complexity and contradictions. One of the most surprising chapters of Connors' life involved his friendship with Leonid Brezhnev. Brezhnev was the general secretary of the Soviet Communist Party. Their connection began in 1973 when Brezhnev, a fan of the Rifleman, visited the United States. As Brezhnev disembarked from Air Force One at El Toro Marine Corps Air Station, he spotted Connors among the welcoming crowd. The towering actor, known for his physical presence, became the center of attention as Brezhnev joyfully embraced him. He even leaped into Connors' arms to the delight of onlookers. The camaraderie continued later that evening at a party hosted by Nixon at the Western White House in San Clemente, California. Connors presented Brezhnev with a pair of custom Colt single-action Army revolvers. This was a gesture that deeply impressed the Soviet leader. Brezhnev's love for Westerns and the Rifleman created a unique bridge between two vastly different worlds. It led to Connors being invited to Moscow later that year. Some speculated that Connors acted as an informal mediator between Nixon and Brezhnev. His relationship with the Soviet leader showcased his ability to transcend political divides. Despite their unlikely friendship, Connors remained unapologetically patriotic and continued to champion conservative ideals. In 1984, Connors' contributions to television were honored with a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, located at 6838 Hollywood Boulevard. The ceremony was attended by over 200 friends, including family members and the Rifleman co-star Johnny Crawford. Connors' commitment to helping others was evident in his philanthropic efforts. He founded the Chuck Connors Charitable Invitational Golf Tournament. This tournament is held annually at the Canyon Country Club in Palm Springs, California. The event raised over $400,000 for the Angel View Crippled Children's Foundation. The charity benefits children with disabilities. Connors' life was a blend of contrasts. He was a vocal conservative in an industry dominated by liberal voices. He was a patriotic American who befriended a Soviet leader. He was also a screen hero whose personal life often clashed with the values he portrayed. Yet these complexities only added to his enigmatic charm, whether rallying for political causes, engaging in Cold War diplomacy, or dedicating his time to charity. Chuck Connors lived with conviction. His unique legacy endures as a testament to the power of individuality and the bridges one can build, even in the most divided times. Final years and death. For much of his life, Connors was a heavy smoker, consuming up to 3 packs of Camel cigarettes a day until the 1970s. By the mid-1970s, he began fronting anti-smoking campaigns, but the addiction was a formidable foe. In a 1987 interview, Connors revealed that he had cut back to just 1 cigarette a day, though his health had already suffered. Connors was hospitalized with pneumonia in October 1992. Soon after, he was diagnosed with lung cancer, a battle he would lose just weeks later. On November 10, 1992, Connors passed away at Cedars-Sinai Medical Center in Los Angeles. He was 71 years old. Connors was laid to rest at the San Fernando Mission Cemetery, where his headstone pays tribute to his unique life. Etched on the marker are the logos of the 3 professional sports teams he played for: the Boston Celtics, Chicago Cubs, and Brooklyn Dodgers. Though his acting career slowed toward the end of his life, Connors' contributions to television and film endured. In 1984, he was honored with a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, a fitting recognition of his impact on the entertainment industry. At his memorial service, the Rifleman co-star Johnny Crawford delivered a heartfelt eulogy. He described Connors as just a great guy. Connors was not without flaws, but Crawford emphasized the warmth, humor, and friendship that defined him off-screen. Chuck Connors' story is one of resilience and legacy. Known for his role as Lucas McCain, he was more than just a TV star. He was a passionate and complex individual. His life, full of unexpected twists, proves that there's always more beneath the surface. Thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe for more behind-the-scenes stories about your favorite stars.